Let's talk about brain fog. So, I've dealt with brain fog for quite a few years as a symptom of fibromyalgia, but it didn't become as apparent in my life until I stopped working for 2 years and then tried to go back to work. So when I started my most recent job, my work from home job, I had to learn a brand new computer system, brand new rules, how a completely different company works. I was working in the healthcare industry before, and now I'm working in just basic customer service in the beauty industry. And I realized that brain fog, one, worsens when you're not using your mind as much. So if you take a break from working or school or something like that. But also I realized how severe of an effect it has on how I learn new things and how I retain information. When I was initially diagnosed, I was already working the job that I was working for about 8 to 9 years. So I already knew the job pretty well by the time I was diagnosed. So I didn't realize the effect that the brain fog had on how I was learning. But knowing my own mind and knowing how I learn, and usually how easily and fast I learn, especially if it's a subject that I'm interested in, which I do love all things beauty and bath and body and things like that. So I was very interested in learning about my new job, and I struggled extremely. I had a few days of breaking down into tears and almost giving up because I didn't have the ability to retain the information I was learning. I mean, it was to the level of where I couldn't even retain where I saved my notes or where to go to find the information I needed. I normally don't even need things like that. Normally I can just remember the information that I'm learning. Not only could I not remember the information I was learning, I couldn't remember where to go to find that information. And I could remember enough to know that the answer was available to me somewhere and that I had been told the answer to that before, but I was unable to remember how to get there. Now, normally when people talk about brain fog, they're mainly talking about just spaciness, not being able to find the words that you need, walking into rooms and not remembering why you were going there, things like that, maybe not remember taking your medication, forgetting people's names. I did not know how severe it could get. It gets to the point at times for me now, and this is me unmedicated. I thought medication was causing some of the brain fog. I haven't been on any kind of medication for RA or fibromyalgia for 2 years. And it gets to a point where it literally feels like someone has stuffed cotton inside my head and my brain can't make the connections because it's clogged and there's something in the way. It's the feeling of maybe like if you've taken a sleeping pill and right before you fall asleep or right when you're waking up, that groggy, unclear feeling, or that feeling when you've taken like a cold medicine like Sudafed or something like that and you have that disconnected feeling. Like I feel like that most of the time, and it's really hard when I'm feeling that way and I need to think on my toes quickly, which is what my current job requires. Is I need to retain a lot of information. I need to know exactly where to go to find that information. I need to explain complicated things to people who are already confused, which is something normally that I'm very good at. That's normally like a gift I have, is the ability to teach people things that they don't understand, or to be able to help, or to be able to recognize why someone doesn't understand something and help them learn in a different way. However, when I can't remember where the exact information is, or where to tell them to find the information, or if I can't remember the information myself, I would get so easily confused and so frustrated. And although this may not sound like a big deal, this is not the way my mind normally worked. I knew what I was capable of. I knew how fast I learn and how I learn things, and none of that was working anymore. It was very frustrating. I almost felt like I had some kind of brain injury, even though I knew I didn't, but I couldn't explain to myself why I was struggling so much just to learn something that wasn't even half as complicated as the job that I was doing before. So I was really concerned and worried that I wasn't going to be able to do this job because I was unable to learn the new information. I mean, I've been pushing through, I've continued working, I have notes everywhere, all over my computer, on Post-its all over my desk, just to remember some basic things, just to remember sometimes for me the name of the company that I'm working for, or what I'm supposed to say when I answer the phone, because I have moments where all of a sudden all of that leaves and I don't remember what I'm supposed to say when I answer the phone. Like I'll just go blank. So I definitely, need to be speaking to a doctor about this and find out why the brain fog has gotten worse. But also, I want, for those of you out there whose brain fog is very severe, to understand that you're not alone. That it isn't always just as simple as just forgetting simple things or losing your words or spacing out. Sometimes it reaches a level where you struggle just to learn new things or just to remember the simplest things. And I don't know the answer to what to do about it. I've been doing like a lot of brain exercises and memory exercises and things like that to try to help, but it doesn't seem to make a difference at this point. So I definitely need, some more professional help to figure out how to get past this so that I can learn and remember the way I know I'm capable of. But also, one of the things that makes the whole situation slightly harder to deal with is the current job I have is very high stress, and the stress in itself makes it harder to learn and remember, and kind of makes the brain fog worse. When your anxiety and stress is even higher, it just makes the symptoms worse. So that doesn't help. I would think to the average onlooker, I probably would seem like I'm fine and I'm learning fine and I'm doing fine, but I know what I'm capable of and I know how I learn, and I can't do that. I can't even do close to that right now. And that's what worries me is it's very frustrating to know what you used to be able to do and what you normally would be capable of, but not be able to find the place in your mind and the ability to even do that. With my current job, there are specific metrics that I'm supposed to reach with, how fast I answer a call, or how many calls I get answered per day, or how many emails I answer per day. And I'm no place near reaching that goal, and I don't even see how I will get there. I'm far enough from it, trying as hard as I can, and I can't even get close to it. So it's very frustrating. It concerns me. I don't know if it makes my job in jeopardy. From when I've talked to, my supervisors and gone over my metrics for the month, it's okay, but at some point it may affect my job if it doesn't improve. And the hard part for me, the hardest part, is I don't know how to improve it. I literally do not know what I can do to help me work faster, remember better, and just retain more information. And this is the type of job that is forever changing, and new information is always coming in, and the way we approach things is always changing. So it's not even a matter of just memorizing what I've learned, but it's retaining part of what I learned, remembering what the old rule was, remembering what the new rule is, and why that was changed, which normally wouldn't be a problem for me. When I applied for the job and I knew how fast-paced it was going to be and how much it would be changing, I didn't think it would be a problem because it was never an issue before with me with my previous jobs, but I am struggling extremely to do this. So I've been trying to take some different supplements that are supposed to help with focus and help with memory and things like that. I haven't seen any improvement yet, but I will keep trying. But you know, even when I film these videos, I have to cut a lot of moments out where I will be in the middle of a sentence with an exact point that I want to get out, and all of a sudden I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. I literally words will be coming out of my mouth and I no longer know what I'm talking about. This happens when I'm in conversations with other people. But yeah, even when I'm just trying to do something like film a quick video, I will forget what I'm talking about. Sometimes I'll try writing things down when I'm filming a video, like writing down bullet points of what I'm going to talk about. But I feel like I can get frustrated because I feel disingenuous when I'm reading something. But if it's something that's really important that I need to get every little point about, that I really have something to get across, I will go ahead and write it down. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of talk about that a little bit with you guys, and I wanted to hear some of your opinions on that and kind of some of your experiences of what you've dealt with as far as brain fog goes, like to what level it affects some of you. And if any of you have had any fluctuations on how it affects you. If at one point it was just, you know, the forgetting what you're doing when you're getting up, forgetting people's names, you know, forgetting what you're saying in the middle of a sentence, to not being able to learn the same way, or literally just not being able to retain any information. I've heard of people who have, you know, chronic fatigue syndrome or ME, where it's to the level where they literally can't do anything. They can no longer hold a job because it's so severe. So I definitely pray that I never reach that point. But I've seen it change dramatically. And part of that can be blamed on not working for 2 years and not having to learn anything new for 2 years, and my mind just being very minimally stimulated for that period of time could be part of how it got so much worse. But yeah, I would just love to hear some of your experiences on how it has affected you and what you do to help, you know, any exercises that you do or any supplements that you might take, or anything that your doctors have said, things that may make it worse as far as your diet or lifestyle goes. Just let me know. So it was really great to talk to you all again, and I hope to hear from you in the comments. And like I've said the last few videos, to all my spoonies out there, I'm always thinking of you. I'm always praying for you and hoping that you guys find happiness, peace, and rest. And for all of the Spoonie supporters out there, thank you so much for your support. Your understanding and being in our lives is so meaningful, and I just want to thank you for taking the time to be there to support those like me. Okay.